Good evening and welcome to another edition of the AGP Sport for today. I'm Samuel Gillis with your June 19th sports stories. Thanks for joining us. Urging on by 19,418 vociferous fans, sadly, Guyana lost its debut match at the 2019 CONCACAF Gold Cup to the host nation and defending champion USA 4-0. Jaden Samuels with the details in this report.
The first half saw a determined performance from the Guyanese, who had a passing accuracy rate of 93% to the host nation's 87% and 44% possession compared to the USA 56%. That segment ended with the home team enjoying a slim 1-0 advantage owing to a 28-minute goal of the boot of Paul Arriola following a lapse in the defense. The second half saw the more experienced USA side pulling away from the young debutants as they hit in 3 more unanswered goals, 2 coming off the boot of player of the match Tyler Boyd and the other from Gacy Zardins. Coach Michael Johnson commended his charges for a competitive performance against a team that has played 73 Gold Cup matches and recorded 56 wins, the most in the history of the tournament. Jaden Samuels, GP Sport.
When the curtains are down on the vertical leg of the ongoing Guinness Greatness of the Streets football, Georgetown is set to kickstart their edition on July the 12th. The details in this report.
In football, the Guinness Greatness of the Streets Georgetown Championship would last for 7 days from July the 12th, with the venue slated to be finalized shortly. The other playing dates are July the 13th, 19th, 20th, 26th, and 27th, with the grand finale scheduled for August the 3rd. The first 2 nights of the event, which features 32 teams, will utilize an elimination format. The resulting 16 teams will advance to the group stage, which will be held over the period of 3 days. The top 2 from each group will advance to the quarter-final round and subsequent semi-final, which is penciled for the penultimate match day date. Meanwhile, the 8 teams which fail to progress to the knockout round will contest the Guinness Play Championship. Presently among the 16 automatic qualifiers are defending champions Gold is Money, GTI Ballers, and Queen Street Tiger Bay. According to an official release from the tournament coordinator, 3P Promotions, the registration forms will be available shortly at Caesars Palace, Banks DIH on Durban Street for the team that will need to enter the playoff round. The winner of the zone will automatically seal their place in the national championship, which is slated to commence in August. For GP Sport, I am Samuel Gillis.
The National Sports Commission's July to August Learn to Swim program. This program will commence on the 8th of July and concluding on the 16th of August. Registration begins on June the 24th up until July the 3rd and is only done at the National Sports Commission's head office on Homestretch Avenue at a cost of $1,000, and parents are asked to present the child's birth certificate. Registered participants aged 6 to 10 are asked to report to the Colgreen Swimming Pool, Camp Street, and 11 years to 16 years at the National Aquatic Center, Liliendal, East Coast, Demerara, respectively. Sessions start at 9 a.m. on the following days, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at both locations. In motor racing news, the second round of Guyana Motor Racing and Sports Club's Drag Racing Championship is set for South Dakota Drag Strip in Timehri this Sunday. Let's take a look.
The first round of the championship, which was dominated by Team Mohammed's cars and bikes, will be tested to its fullest by the much bigger Dutch contingent expected at this weekend's meet. Round 1 was dubbed the biggest drag race meet that Guyana has ever witnessed, and GMRNSC's head Ramiz Mohammed has expressed optimism that the numbers this time around will increase. The most significant investments with regard to the racetrack were the construction of the multi-million-dollar launch pad and the extension of the strip from 1,000 feet to a full 3/4 mile. Entrance fee to the circuit, adults $1,000, children $500. Jaden Samuels, each GP Sport.
In cricket news, a poor run of form continues for South Africa, losing to New Zealand, who was set a target of 242 for victory. As World Cup cricket continues, here are the details.
Batting first on Wednesday, the South Africans lacked intent from the get-go and ended up on 221. Poor performance with the bat continued for Quinton de Kock, failing to get his innings going, and was bowled by Trent Boult for 5, putting the South Africans in early trouble. Hashim Amla and Captain Faf du Plessis did try to bring order to the middle, putting together a mini partnership to get the runs flowing, but du Plessis was bowled by Santana, and just after, Amla also lost his stumps, being bowled for 55, putting New Zealand in early control of the match. Bowling for New Zealand, Lonke Ferguson took 3 for 59. Needing 242 for victory, Kane Williamson led from the front, unstoppable in his 106 not out, and Colin de Granholm adding 60, seeing New Zealand to another win. The next match will bring together Australia and Bangladesh. Jaden Samuels, each GP Sport.
The 2019 Cricket World Cup has been on its way since May the 30th. Teams have risen and fell. Some have been appointed while others have disappointed. Let's take a look at this year's World Cup trends.
In cricket, it looks like getting all the captains to sit together on a couch before the tournament, like they were in a sitcom, has had the desired effect. There hasn't been one demerit point handed out for an incident between players so far. David Warner has signed autographs for net bowlers and opposition fans, and Chris Gayle threw his support to both India and Pakistan ahead of their big clash. So far, there have been 14 successful reviews out of 39. 8 of them were decided by the umpire's score. This amounts to 17 lost reviews, some of those having been taken rather late in the innings. Teams that have won the toss and bowled first currently have a 7-9 record in this World Cup. Captains have been influenced by overcast conditions, but early wickets have been hard to come by. The average opening partnership has been 51.97 runs, more than in any previous World Cup. Chasing big scores has proved much more difficult at the World Cup than it has been in England. Recently, there has been just one score of more than 250 chased successfully. For GP Sport, I am Samuel Gillis.
And that's all we have for this edition of the AGP Sports, guys. But do remember, success is not an happening. It is a result. There is nothing mysterious about progressing. It is doing instead of doubting, and working instead of wishing. Back to you, Javon.